Hey, welcome. Today, we're getting an insider's guide to digital marketing from someone who was right there in the trenches, helping build giants like eBay and Meta. So forget all the jargon and the fluff for a minute. We are getting straight to the core principles that actually work, the stuff that turns clicks into real customers. This is based on decades of experience at the very highest level. Okay, let's get into it.
So, can you believe this whole story starts with paper airplanes? Seriously, our guide wasn't some business prodigy from a fancy school. He was just a student who needed to figure out how to pay for university. So he jumped into the early internet, the real Wild West days of the 90s, and turned a simple hobby site into a business that paid for his entire education. What an amazing start to an incredible career.
And that journey, well, it took him from paper airplanes all the way up to senior marketing roles at eBay and then later at Facebook, which of course is now Meta. But here's the really cool part, the fundamental lessons he learned back on that simple website, how to find an audience, how to give them something they want. Those are the exact same principles he uses today to manage marketing budgets worth billions of dollars.
So what's the big secret? Well, the secret is, there is no secret. Haha. Seriously though, great marketing isn't about finding some magic formula. It's about being absolutely relentless about getting the basics right. It really just boils down to answering 4 fundamental questions, and that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now.
Okay, first question. What's the real goal here? This is all about conversion. Before you spend a single cent on an ad, you have to know exactly what you want the customer to do. Do you want them to sign up, buy something, download an app? If you don't define that with total clarity, you'll have no idea if you're actually succeeding. You've got to define what a win looks like from the very beginning.
But just counting your wins isn't quite enough. You really need to understand this concept called incrementality. This is like the true test of your marketing's value. It asks a really tough question. Did my ad cause this sale to happen, or was this person going to buy from me anyway? That difference, it's everything.
And this story from eBay just illustrates it perfectly. For years, eBay spent a fortune, a real fortune, buying its own brand name on search engines. And the basic tracking looked great. It showed tons of people clicking the ad and buying stuff. But when they finally tested for incrementality, they found a pretty shocking truth. Most of those people were already typing eBay into the search bar. They were coming to the site no matter what. The ads were doing almost nothing. That is a multi-million-dollar lesson in what happens when you don't measure what truly matters.
Now here's where it gets even crazier. Even when you think you're measuring the right thing, you can get it spectacularly wrong. So let me ask you this. What if a company's single most important metric, the one they report to Wall Street, the number of active users, was off by a huge amount? Well, back in 2008 at Facebook, they made a pretty terrifying discovery.
The error wasn't small. It was more than 10%. Just think about that for a second. For a company whose entire value was built on user growth, this meant that 1 in every 10 active users wasn't actually active. They were basically ghosts in the machine.
So what was going on? Well, the culprit was actually a clever little feature that was designed to make the app feel faster. It would prefetch data in the background so it was ready when you needed it. The problem was, this prefetching triggered the exact same code that logged a user as active. There was no human involved, just the app talking to the server. The lesson here is so important. When you measure an action, you have to be absolutely positive a real human is the one taking it.
Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our second pillar, targeting. Once you know your goal, your next job is to find the right people to talk to. This is the art and science of plucking your perfect customer out of a sea of literally billions of people.
And wow, has this changed over the years. We went from these really broad demographic buckets on TV in the 60s, to location-based ads in newspapers, to the internet, which completely changed the game by letting us target based on actual behavior, what you search for, what you click on. And now, today, AI is taking it to a completely new level, predicting who your next customer is going to be before they even know it themselves.
But all of this incredible power comes with some incredible risks. Back at eBay, the team had this clever idea to personalize ads by automatically inserting whatever a user searched for into the ad copy. And it worked great, until someone searched for dead babies. Now, that's the name of a book, a film, and a song, but the system had no idea about context, and it created an ad that was just horrifyingly offensive.
The lesson here is so important. Just because you automate something, it doesn't mean you can just walk away. Powerful targeting tools absolutely require powerful human-designed filters and safety rails. You have to put on your pessimist hat and think about all the ways your clever system could go terribly wrong. So, you've defined your goal. You've found your audience. What's next? Pillar number 3, creative. This is the stuff you actually show people. The ad, the image, the video, the button. And in the world of performance marketing that's designed to get a direct response, creative has one job, and one job only: get people to take that action.
The legendary ad guy David Ogilvy really said it best. If it doesn't sell, it isn't creative. It just doesn't matter how beautiful your ad is, or how clever, or how funny. If it doesn't drive the conversion that you defined back in step 1, it's a failure. That's it. The only thing that matters is results.
To get those results, our expert uses a really simple framework he calls the 4 Ps. First, is your creative prominent? I mean, can people actually see it? Think of a big green button. Second, is it personalized? Does it feel relevant to that specific person? Third, is it persistent? If they get distracted, can they easily find their way back to it? And finally, performance. Does the darn thing actually load fast and work without bugs on any device?
This story about Facebook Live is a perfect example of the power of persistence. When they first launched it, they ran this massive, expensive marketing campaign. TV commercials, billboards, the whole shebang. And the result? A tiny, tiny little bump in usage. So then they tried something else. They made one simple change. They added a persistent button for live video right in the main interface. And guess what? Usage just surged. It turns out that a small, practical change to make something easy to find is often way more powerful than screaming about it from a billboard.
And here is the power of personalization in action. At eBay, the design team was mostly men, so the default ads they created tended to feature men's products. But when they ran a test to show women ads featuring women's products, they saw a huge 20% jump in performance. Just a simple act of personalizing the ad made the experience more relevant, and it drove way better results. It's not rocket science.
Okay, so we've covered our first 3 pillars. Now let's talk about the future. For our final section, we're looking at the one force that is completely rewriting every single rule in the book: artificial intelligence. And AI isn't just another tool, you guys. It is a fundamental shift in how all of this is done.
I absolutely love this analogy from the tech analyst Benedict Evans. He said if the combustion engine gave us infinite horses, then AI gives us infinite interns. Just think about that. It's an almost limitless supply of intelligence to do all those repetitive tasks, from writing thousands of versions of ad copy to analyzing data to designing creative.
And what does all this infinite intern power unlock? Well, it unlocks the holy grail of marketing, the audience of one. This is the ability to finally move beyond these broad segments and demographics and have a truly unique, one-to-one, personalized conversation with every single customer, all at the same time. AI is making this once impossible dream a reality, right now.
So how do you get ready for this? Well, first, you gotta start now. Play with the tools, see what they can do. But listen, the most critical thing, the one thing you can do today that will pay off massively, is to get your data in order. AI is useless without good data. So structuring your customer data so that the powerful AIs of tomorrow can actually understand it and work for you, that is the single most important thing you can do.
Because this really is the future. We are moving away from that old megaphone model of marketing, broadcasting one message to a big crowd. The future belongs to the people who can master the art of conducting millions of individual, personalized, helpful conversations, all at the same time. And that leaves us with our final thought for you to chew on. AI is here. It's bringing the power of one-to-one marketing to everyone, not just the giants. So the question really isn't if this is going to happen, it's when. Is your business ready for it? Thanks for watching.